Let's talk about it. All right, listen up. If you are a man in the gym above the age of 23, right? You're doing all the things, you're eating clean, you're lifting the weights, and maybe you're into bodybuilding. Maybe you're toying with the idea of potentially getting on stage for the first time. I have a special opportunity for you. I'm hosting a 14-day challenge to help you. That's right. You complete a successful prep for a bodybuilding show. There's been a lot of people asking me, like, yo, how do you do what you do? What does that look like? I don't know if I could do it. I'm really busy. Am I going to have to sacrifice my relationships, my career? What about school? There's a lot of things that immediately want to come up into our minds and keep us stuck. And that's really my intention with this challenge. We're hosting a kickoff call on Friday the 20th at 6:30 p.m. EST, just to lay the foundation a little bit and give you guys an inside look as to what that looks like. And then the challenge itself is going to be starting on September 23rd. It's literally going to be $7 a day for the 2 weeks. I think it's less than $100 for the 2 weeks. But basically, I'm going to be walking you through step by step specifically what you need to do in order to place top 5 with ease at your first bodybuilding show. Now, I want to be very clear as well. Like, you don't have to be someone that's competing to participate in this challenge. I do think it makes a lot of sense if you are, because it's going to be geared towards that. But even if you're somebody who, is a bit more advanced, let's say, in the gym, I do think there's a lot of very powerful things that you can learn from this as well. I'm going to be covering a lot of things when it comes to fatigue, stress, nutrients, micros, macros, all the things that I've learned over the last decade of training and working with some of the best coaches in the space. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, just go ahead, shoot me the word info. I'll get you some more details. It's basically going to be an all access experience for just 14 days, 2 weeks. And I'm going to be treating you as a paying client, the same kind of deal there. I'll be giving you access to my training app. You'll have the opportunity to come in and learn from me. You'll get a custom training program from me. You'll get some meal ideas. And then within a short amount of time, I'll be able to clean you up pretty extensively. If you're somebody who is comfortable recording your training videos, you could also send those over to me as well. I'll clean those up. That's one of the really more powerful things that we do for our clients, is a lot of form improvements and execution on that. A lot of my clients, my best clients that get incredible results working with us, are constantly sending training videos for me to audit their form. And inside of that, they get better reps and better results. There's really no accident to winning. So again, if you are a man above the age of 23 who's been in the gym for 3 to 5 years and you want to take your training, your physique, your mindset, your life to a place that you've never experienced before, and maybe there's a lot of limiting beliefs that are holding you back, you're not sure what it takes, you're worried that you have to make a ton of sacrifices. It's just not the case. I'm going to be giving you quick, short, informative videos that'll walk you through step by step all the things that you need to know in order to be the best man, the best leader, the best partner, role model in your life. And I really do believe that fitness is the foundation, because it is. If you're not in peak optimal physical and mental shape, it's going to be different, or I should say, it's going to be difficult for you to carry out the necessary behaviors that are going to help you live your best life. Everyone said, we throw around this word, right, that we want to live our best lives. What does that mean, Ethan? What does that mean? I want to live my best life. I want to live up to my true potential. Okay, well, have you gotten clear on what that is for you? Because if you're not clear on that, how are we going to get there? Interesting. Now, I do want to be very clear. I'm keeping this limited to 10 guys. The first 10 guys, first come, first serve. The reason I say only 10 is because I like intimate settings. I like the opportunity to really go deep and have powerful conversations with my clients. Sal, what's going on, brother? You have a cool name, man. Thanks for tuning in, brother. So I'm hosting a challenge. You want the details, Sal, on the challenge? Are you interested? Do you have what it takes to be a bodybuilder and place top 5 and actually your first show? Because that's what I did, and that's why I'm doing this. Everyone's like, well, I want to compete, maybe. I want to get on stage as a bodybuilder. Okay, here's your opportunity. I don't do this often. I had a few people ask me about that. I was not at this past summer shredding. I had competed at summer shredding back in 2022, so that was a few years ago. You placed top 5 yourself as well. Let's go, bro. I love that. Um, but yeah, this is going to be an opportunity for the first 10 guys. I mean, honestly, even if you have competed before, I do think you could learn something from this because I'm just about finished with the J3U course. If you guys know John Jewett, who is a Olympian bodybuilder, someone who's pretty high up in the space. I've been going through his course material and learning a lot of good things. And, that's my intention, is to share that with you, and also the decade of experience that I have in working with some of the best coaches in the space. And like, I'm really planning to hold nothing back here. I've been thinking about this idea for a long time. Also, Sal, this goes to you as well. I'm happy to cover. I'm willing to take the time here with this challenge to look over your training videos, your posing, your current nutrition, where your macros are, the way your training is structured. I'm open to getting on a call with you, pretty much whatever it takes to see you succeed, because I know, like you said, I agree with you. There's always more to learn, and I'm a student, and I want to make sure that I give other guys, the opportunity to do this as well. This really isn't about me. I tried to make this as feasible as I possibly could with $97 for 2 weeks, literally $7 a day. It would actually cost you less to go to Starbucks and get a coffee. And just pulling back the curtain, allowing you guys to get inside my training app and learn from all the things, and direct access to me and ask me questions. I couldn't make this more clear that my goal, my intention here is to help you guys, but if you don't want to do it, that's cool too. Um, I'm just really excited about this because there's a lot. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but most bodybuilding coaches in the space usually charge $500 to $600 a month. Not only are we cheaper than that, but also this challenge is going to be a fraction of that. So if you've ever been on the fence with trying to learn high quality material, I would highly, highly recommend. I shouldn't even say recommend. Like, this is a no-brainer. You need to take advantage of this if you're serious about going to the next level. And again, you don't have to be competing, but I do think it makes more sense if you are, and if you're a male above the age of 23 looking to do that. You do have a coach, but you're happy to work with me as well. So here's the thing. I think that's a good question, Sal. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm not against helping other people with coaches, but it's also like, I don't want to step on anybody's toes in the space, right? Like, the bodybuilding space is kind of small in that regard. And I also want to respect my brand reputation in the space. And I never want anyone to think that, like, oh, that guy, Sal Vittorio, he's over there trying to steal everybody's clients. Like, that's not my intention, at all. So if you're satisfied with your current coach, that's totally cool. Like, go ahead and do that. You don't have to join this challenge. I do want to make that very clear. My goal isn't to fear monger anybody in here. I want you guys to want to be here and be excited about that. That's the energy that I like to create inside of my container. So like, if you're cool with your coach, bro, no sweat. That's totally cool. I'm here to support you regardless as well. If you weren't, we could always have a conversation. Like I said, I'm just not trying to step on any toes here. So just wanted to come on here and share you guys, share a little bit of this information with you guys so you had more of an understanding of that. And as always, if you have any specific questions, go ahead and shoot me a message, or if you're interested, shoot me the word info. There is a quick video breakdown that I can send over to you that will map out what specifically the challenge is in a bit further detail, probably a little bit better than I could explain it right now, so that's totally up to you. Love your vibe. Who knows? It may work with you. Love your content. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for almost 5 years now, and after working with hundreds of people all over the world, I've just realized, like, you have to want to be here. And I could say all the things that I want, but unless it's truly an opt-in for you, like, it doesn't make sense. And like, I value my time and energy and my peace, and I never want to sacrifice that for anybody, regardless of who it is. So I just wanted to make that clear, and I appreciate the love, Sal. Cool name, bro. I can't stress that enough. I don't meet many Sal, so it's really cool, bro. I appreciate you. FTA fit. How did I become such a stud? That's a good question. That sounds egotistical to say out loud, but I don't know. I think in all seriousness, it's just about something for me is just integrity and following through on the promises that you make to yourself. That's single-handedly one thing that has changed a lot of aspects in my life, is just doing what you say you're going to do. Oh, it is Caleb. I thought it was. I was curious. What's up, brother? Great to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. That's fucking hilarious. I thought that was like an actual question. Hope you're doing well, my man. Much love always. Let me know if you're ever in the Florida area. Would love to connect with you, brother. Peter, what's going on? If you're good at something, always take it to the next level, make it more professional. Yeah, and that's also the thing too, as well, Sal. Like I'm really confident in my abilities, and like I have faith in where I'm going. So like I don't feel the need to force any type of outcomes. I think when I first started, there was a lot of my ego that was involved with trying to prove to myself, to clients, and to people that I was a great coach. But over time, when you begin to just really be immersed in the industry and do the right thing by people, you no longer need to seek that validation. It's like I get that from myself. I know what I bring to the table and how I operate, and I don't need anybody to really justify that, if that makes sense. Um, what's your perspective about steroid cycle, young kids who are competing? My thought process with gear is and I'm also very new, so I do want to be transparent with that as well. I only started using anabolics about a year or so ago, so I am still new in that world, which is pretty exciting for me because my coach has said it. He's like, you got some really good genetics, man. I think you could do pretty well here. And I agree. So I'm excited for the future. But to answer this question, I don't think anybody should touch it, until they have at least, I made a post about this recently, probably around a good 3 to 5, 6, maybe even 7 years of training. As a natural, there is a lot of potential on the table, and it depends on your goal and where you're trying to go, right? But I think there's this whole like misconception that you need to take anabolics in order to compete. That's not the case. You can compete naturally. So it just depends on what you're willing to do. And I think this is the issue in the space right now is there's a lot of people that will just hop on because it sounds trendy and they think they're going to, see all these gains. Anybody can inject themselves and start to see a little bit of results. But the thing is, we're trying to think longevity with your health, your hormones, like your organs, like your life. Right. So it's something to take into consideration because you do run the risk of potentially shutting down your natural production of testosterone when you start doing those things, so it's like, is that the risk that you're willing to tolerate? And it's crazy because everybody genetically will respond differently. So it becomes difficult to start to say, oh, this is going to happen. You can't really deal in absolutes because you don't know how people are going to respond. But to answer the question, Sal, I think that you need to have a solid base because this is another point that I didn't mention there. You can take steroids, anabolics, and still look like shit if you don't have quality nutrition in store, you don't have a good understanding of how to log your calories, you don't have a good foundation of training, good habits, sleep, stress management. There is so much that goes into this. And if you haven't tapped into that potential and you're just pinning for the sake of it, it leaves so much room and so many variables to be optimized before that, because let's say, you're 22, right? And you're thinking about hopping on, right? But you have no concept of macros. You don't know how to train properly. And then you start doing that. It's like you could have gotten way more out of your natural potential before doing that. And you just kind of sell yourself short. Does that make sense? Hope that answers that. I know that was a long-winded way to answer that, but I do appreciate that question. For those who don't know, on TikTok, I'm a bodybuilding coach. I'm somebody who's in the fitness space now for quite some time. I'm going on almost year 13 of my own training and also about year 5 of coaching. So Sal, I hope that answers your question, brother. I do have to bounce here to get situated with some work. I have a call coming up. But again, if you guys are interested in the challenge, go ahead and shoot me the word info. If not, that's cool too. I hope you guys have a great day and I'll chat with you soon. Peace.